Welcome to the GenX Pole Arts podcast, Fit, Fierce, and Fearless. I am Zen, also known as Nancy Adzentovich, the founder of GenX Pole Arts. I am happy to be launching this podcast where we are going to be celebrating the strength, resilience, and potential of women over 40 in the vibrant world of pole dance. I'm excited to embark on this empowering journey with you guys. And each week, we will connect with inspiring women who are redefining what it means to thrive in their 40s and beyond. From incredible stories of personal transformation to tips on building strength and confidence, we'll explore the boundless possibilities that pole dancing offers for self-expression and empowerment. Whether you're a seasoned dancer or just curious about the journey, there's a place for you here. So grab a cup of coffee, a sparkling water, whatever turns you on, and get comfortable. Let's celebrate the incredible power of women who are embracing their passions and pushing boundaries at every age. And don't forget to subscribe and join our community on social media and sign up for the 15-day pole dance challenge if you haven't done so already. All right, now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to episode 9 of Fit, Fierce, and Fearless. I'm Zen. Thank you for joining me again. I am sitting here in the week of International Women's Day. It just happened a couple of days ago, and March is Women's History Month. And I thought I would talk about a little bit about everything that's going on right now, at least in the US, with politics and policy changes. It's a little bit scary being a woman in this climate. And the fact that we have each other in our community, which you've heard us talk about on every single episode. So I don't really need to talk about the pole community too much right now, but I feel really fortunate to have a group of strong women surrounding me. And I feel like we insulate one another a little bit from all the craziness that's going on. However, we can only do so much. If policies change and rights are taken away or augmented in some way, we have to figure out how to live within the new parameters of society. We also can learn how to speak up for ourselves and stand up for ourselves and get involved in community activism around our own little communities, wherever we might live, run for office locally and try to help influence our local policies and have some say in who is being sent to make the national policies in Washington. So I don't want to talk politics per se, but I did want to mention I was really proud of myself this weekend. So on International Women's Day, what I decided to do was my taxes. I know that sounds like ridiculous, but last year was the year that I started GenX Pole Arts. It was the year that I left my corporate job. And finally, after many years of wanting to start my own business and work for myself, I actually did it. This for me was always so terrifying as the sole provider for my family, having to make sure that we have healthcare and insurance. And I have now 2 kids in college, one kid with a chronic health condition that I need to have good insurance to cover the medication, et cetera. So I had a million excuses about why it was too risky for me to stop working for other people and start working for myself. And so I believed all of those excuses for many years, and I made a good living, and I'm very grateful to that. And I was able to provide a nice upbringing for my children, and we have a home to live in, and we live in a nice area, etc. But I was not happy. My mental health was not good. My physical health was not good. I was resentful. I buried a lot of my feelings about it. I showed up every day. I did what I needed to do for my job, and I had zero joy or even just neutral feelings. I felt bad about it. So it was really scary. I was laid off from my job, so I didn't really have a choice. And I think that was a blessing, because in that moment is when I decided that, okay, this is it. This is when I'm going to actually do it, because I am tired of being miserable. tired of feeling just terrible on a daily basis and forcing myself to get tasks done and not doing such a good job because I was really not mentally satisfied. I don't want to say mentally unwell because it's not like I was diagnosed with any mental illness, but I just was not motivated in any way. And the money wasn't motivating me anymore either. So when I sat down to do my taxes, my accountant sent me a business expense worksheet because I formed a formal LLC for GenX Pole Arts in July of last year. And I needed to give her all of the legal business entity documents and the state filings, et cetera, the EIN number, and all those things that go along with starting a business that you learn when you start a business. And then I went through all the expenses and the revenue. And, the numbers aren't positive in my favor in terms of supporting my family with the revenue coming in from GenX Pole Arts. Yet, I know as we continue to grow this year, more people and more of you will join and things will change, and we're going to have wonderful opportunities to work together. And I'm really looking forward to that. But what struck me was the depth of preparation and the amount of knowledge that I gained last year in putting everything together. And I was so proud of myself to see it all on paper. I didn't expect to feel that. Like I felt like I wanted to tell my mom, like, look what I did. Look on paper. This is a real business. It's a real thing. I did this. I don't think my mom would really get it. And since it's not providing income to live off of at this point, I don't think that she'd appreciate it in the same way that I do, but maybe I'm not giving her enough credit. And she probably will listen to this and disagree with me, but that's just how I felt. I told my kids, and they're excited for me and they appreciate it. And I really thought that was appropriate on International Women's Day. I remember about 10 years ago, I was asked to speak at the International Women's Day, like luncheon that my company hosted. There were probably maybe 100 people in the room. And I spoke about my corporate journey and what was important to me as a mom and a woman and working in an executive level role. And I was honored to have been asked to do that. But the feeling I had then doesn't compare in any way to the feeling I had this weekend when I looked at my expenses and balance sheet and the tax documents that I needed to compile. Seeing my vision and my dream on paper as an actual entity and an actual formed thing that exists in the world was felt like miraculous to me. And the fact that I was able to overcome that fear or do it, I mean, no, that's wrong because I'm still afraid and the fear is not gone, but I'm doing it anyway. And at this point, I feel that I've done too much to go back. So I'm not going to stop. Gen X is here and it's going to keep growing and getting better and more interesting and more valuable to you all. And I'm excited for that. And it's a really cool feeling to feel satisfied and to be able to say that without feeling guilty about it or to feel like, oh, I don't want to brag or I don't want to sound boasty or like a Karen or something. Because why shouldn't women feel proud of their accomplishments in business the way that they feel proud of their accomplishments in motherhood or partnership with a spouse or a partner? I think we should. I think it's okay to own that. And I think that I'd love to hear about your successes and the things that you've done in spite of what other people might think and in spite of your fears and any challenges you might have. So I know it's not just me. So let's share our stories, our International Women's Day stories, our Women's History Month stories. Please leave me some comments. This is a super short episode because that's really all I need to say. We're going to have a really cool guest next week. I know you're going to enjoy hearing her. I'm not going to tell you anything else about her. You'll have to be surprised. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm wearing my secret pole dance studio competition team jacket. The PSO competition was this past weekend. And although we didn't have an official team, we did have one of our former team members competing independently. And she won a second place medal. I'm really proud of her, Jessica. Congratulations on your silver. And plenty of other friends and acquaintances also competed and performed beautifully. Super impressed by everybody this weekend. So congratulations. I'm looking forward to the fall where I probably will compete because it's been a while since I have. So that'll be another part of the journey to follow along. Also, I'm planning in July a GenX Pole Arts weekend for beginners over 40 in upstate New York. That's a little teaser. Get ready. I think it'll probably be for about 4 hours on a Saturday. So stay tuned for more details on that. I hope some of you will join me, and I wish you well. Happy Women's History Month. Continue being amazing. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, powered by GenX Pole Arts. I hope you feel inspired by the incredible stories of strength and resilience that we shared today. Remember, it's never too late to embrace your potential and unleash your passion. If you enjoyed this episode, please, I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave me a review. Your support really helps me to continue to uplift and empower women over 40 in our pole dance community and beyond. Don't forget to connect with me on social media for more inspiration and updates. I'd love to hear your stories and share in your journey. So until next time, keep dancing, keep shining, and remember that your strength knows no age.